Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm Martin DeLazansky. I'm with Lexie Hearing, and we're excited to have you join us for this webinar on understanding hearing health and OTC hearing aids. And my job is as your moderator today. You can see we have our two guest speakers, Pearl Toboyka, who's an audiologist based in the States, Nabila, who's based in South Africa. They're going to introduce themselves to you in just a minute. And then I want to take you through some basic tips and tricks so you can get the most out of this webinar. So let me just go to that next slide here. This platform may be new to you. It is new to us, honestly. This is the first time we're using it. So thank you for coming on this journey with us. But a few things to make sure you can see the content and understand it. So the first thing I want to point out to you is as you're looking at your screen, the very top in the center, you'll see something that says active cameras. I would suggest you change that to just the talking tab, because that will only focus on the person who's speaking. It will also make the content much bigger on your screen and easier to understand. The next one is there's a virtual push pin. If you scroll over the content on screen, you'll see that show up in the upper right-hand corner. I would go ahead and click on that. It'll essentially pin it to your screen, and it will always make sure it's the largest thing. There is some content on the slides that we'll want you to read. It'll just be easier, I think, if it's larger for you. This next one is the questions icon. So if you go again to the top of the presentation, if you go to the right of that active cameras pull down that I was just talking about, you'll see something that looks just like this, which is a drop down for asking questions. During the presentation, we encourage you to put questions in there. We have our other team member, Nicholas, who's also with with Lexie Hearing, who's online. He'll be able to monitor those. We'll make sure they get answered. It'll also be, hey, Nicholas, how are you? If you've got questions, put them in there, and particularly for the Q&A at the end, that would be where we'd like you to put them. And then lastly, at the bottom right corner, you'll see something that says beta and the CC symbol, which is here. If it will be easier for you, I would encourage you to turn on closed captions. That way you can be following along and don't have to worry so much about your audio connection. So with that having been said, I'm going to turn you over to Pearl and Nabila Ghulam Hussein to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone. So community is important to us at Lexie Hearing, and we're so excited to have all of you join us in these conversations today. My name is Nabila, and as you can see on your map, I am based in South Africa. I've been an expert with Lexie Hearing for almost 5 years now, where it's been my responsibility to not only ensure that our users are supported in their product use, but that they're heard in their journey to healthy hearing. We're super passionate about healthy hearing, and joining me today is my colleague, Dr. Pearl.
Thanks, Nabila. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. We're so excited to have you here. I'm Dr. Pearl. I'm based in Denver, Colorado. I've been an audiologist for about 10 years, and I've spent my career working with patients just like you, helping them find a way to hear better. I'm excited to share insights on OTC hearing aids, answer your questions, and really just make you feel confident about making the right choice for your hearing. So we were super curious to know where you guys are all from. You've gotten to know us a little bit. So if you use that chat function or the question function that Martin just talked about, the little box with the question mark in it, if you go there, if you can, go ahead and tell us where you guys are all calling in from. Great. So we have people in New York, it looks like, California. And if you're not finding that button, it's up in the right-hand corner with the question box. You can enter any questions that you have there and comments. Great. Well, thank you all for joining. So now I want to get to know a little bit of why you're here. So I'm sure there's a reason why you signed up. Maybe you're just curious about OTC hearing aids. Maybe you're curious about hearing aids in general. Maybe you've started to notice some of these common signs of hearing loss. So I'm going to have Martin put up a poll, and I want you to tell me if you've noticed any of these, if you've noticed one of these hearing loss symptoms, Okay, so maybe difficulty understanding the TV. I know I myself often have trouble hearing the TV. I use closed captions all the time. Maybe you have a hard time understanding what people are saying, especially if they're not looking at you. You can hear them, can't understand them. Following more conversations with more than two people, or maybe missing conversations in noisy environments. These bars, restaurants are just getting noisier every day. So it looks like people, yeah, misunderstanding what is being said seems to be the most popular response. That's very common. All right, we've got some more answers rolling in here. Yep, I think we've all experienced these at some point, and even a slight hearing loss can make it more challenging. Great, thank you for entering in your responses. So as you look at these common signs of hearing loss, I'm sure you'll see a lot of overlap of what you just shared. Hearing loss typically occurs really gradually. Some people don't even notice it at first. Often it's our loved ones that tend to notice it before we do. Um, but 15% of adults report some difficulty with hearing. And hearing loss is way more common than we realize. And the good news is that modern hearing technology is more accessible than ever before. Nabila, can you tell us a little bit more about the hearing loss in the United States?
Yeah, let's jump into some numbers. So while we know that hearing loss can feel super isolating, it's important to know that you're not alone. In the US, there are over 37 million adults who report some trouble hearing, and over 28 million who would benefit from using hearing aids actually don't. In fact, on average, only about 25% of adults over the age of 20 who would benefit from using hearing aids actually use them. That number does jump to about 30% for adults over the age of 70, but still, that means that a large portion of people who would benefit from hearing aids actually don't. Before we move on, we're interested in knowing how many of you joining us today actually use hearing aids. And if you do, what are they? Are they prescription hearing aids or over-the-counter hearing aids? And Martin will pop up a poll for us again. So you can go ahead and select the option that applies to you. And you
One
may
in
ask
four
why the
people.
numbers important, right? Like we'll look at why these numbers are so important in a second, but I see we have a couple of people who said not yet using hearing aids, and this is a great platform for us to be in. We open up these conversations and we look into hearing aid use. Let's jump to the next slide. Because we know that although there is a general perception that hearing loss is usually just related to your hearing, more recent studies have shown that there are clear correlations between hearing loss and social isolation, depression, an increased risk of falling, and also an accelerated rate of cognitive decline. So what do these things have in common? They impact our overall quality of life. And while none of us like to talk about any of these topics, it is reassuring to know that something as simple as hearing aid use can actually greatly impact your overall quality of life. Okay, Dr. Paul's going to walk us through some hearing loss and how to distinguish between different hearing levels.
Great. Thank you, Nabila. So what you're seeing on your screen right now is an audiogram. And some of you, if you've had your hearing tested before, you may have seen your results charted on something that looks really similar to this. And some of you may have never seen this before, especially some of you said that you've never used hearing aids before. So I'm going to walk you through what we're looking at. So first, I want to draw your attention up to the very top where we have the frequencies, and it goes from very low pitch on the left-hand side. So think sounds like b, d, g, very low pitch, going all the way up to very high pitch. Think birds chirping, sounds like t, s, sh. And then on the side shows the volume level. So at the very top is actually the softest level. And as you move further down, the sound gets much louder. So in the orange area, we've got a normal hearing, and then in the purple area is a slight to mild. The blue is moderate, And then the different levels of green go from severe to profound. So think jackhammers, bands playing, airplane, jet engines, very, very loud. Okay.
And some
And
of
then I
those
want to
sounds
draw
that we
your
love.
attention. What was that?
I said some of those sounds we all are super guilty of loving.
Yes, yeah, we earplugs, people, earplugs. So in the center, we've got our speech banana, right, that gray area. And this is when someone's speaking at the average volume, when they're chatting at the average volume of speech, there's going to still be speech sounds that are louder and lower in pitch. Like I said, b, d, g. That's going to give the awareness of sound. And then there's going to be speech sounds that are much higher in pitch that give clarity, understanding. Think t, s, sh, f. Okay. Most people have hearing loss that tends to be worse in the higher frequencies. 85% of people have a mild to moderate hearing loss. All right. So a lot of people have trouble they can hear people talk, but they can't always understand what's being said. And over-the-counter hearing aids are specifically designed for mild to moderate hearing loss. They help us capture all of those important speech sounds, especially when we're placed in difficult environments where there's multiple people talking, where there's background level noise. So again, most people have mild to moderate hearing loss. OTC hearing aids are made for mild to moderate hearing loss. If you're unsure of what type of hearing loss you have, you can visit Lexie.com, where we have a free and accurate hearing assessment that'll give you a good idea of what degree hearing loss you have. Now, if you have a severe or profound hearing loss, over-the-counter hearing aids are not recommended. You should definitely go see an audiologist to get a thorough examination and talk about more powerful devices. But again, that's lexiehearing.com. We'll put it in the chat. We'll also send you a link in an email after the webinar. That's Lexie Hearing, Lexie hearing.com. Go. I encourage you, take the test. Don't do it right now. Wait till after our webinar and go see what type of hearing loss you have. Now, let's talk about how hearing aids work. Nabila?
Thank you. So if you've noticed any signs or trouble hearing, or especially those sounds that Dr. Paul highlighted now, or you've maybe already confirmed it with the hearing test, the next step would be to start looking at hearing aids. But before we look at hearing aids, let's take a moment to look at how hearing aids work. So all hearing aids, regardless of the style, should have three essential components. The first is to the bottom left of your screen where it says the microphone. So this part will be responsible for picking up sounds from your environment so that it carries it into the hearing aid. The next step would be for an amplifier to make these sounds louder and clearer. And then lastly, a receiver will send those stronger sounds into your ear canal, and these stronger sounds then travel to your brain. So weak and distorted signals are made easier to understand. And that placement of the receiver within a hearing aid will really determine the style of the hearing aid, which Dr. Paul will give us more insight into now.
Thanks, Nabila. So once you're ready to decide, okay, I'm ready to pick out a hearing aid. There are a lot of different styles of hearing aids. We're going to cover 3 of the most common styles of hearing aids, and it is important to know that there are certain types of hearing loss or degrees of hearing loss that are better suited for certain styles of hearing aids. But let's talk about the most common ones. The first is the in the ear. Okay, or ITE for short. And now this is not going to have anything behind the ear. It sits right inside the ear canal. It's got the microphone and the speaker. Everything sits right in the ear. And while it is more discreet, still powerful, but it's just discreet, it can take a little while to get used to because it does completely plug up that ear canal. The next common hearing aid is the behind the ear model. This is called a BTE hearing aid. Now, most of the components are all housed in the part that sits right behind the ear. BTEs tend to be a little bit bigger because the microphone and the speaker are in that part that sits behind the ear. You have a tube and then an earpiece that sits in the ear. Then we have the receiver in the canal. Now this looks really similar to the VTE, I know, but it is different. Instead of a tube that carries the sound, the speaker itself actually sits in the ear, which means the part that sits behind the ear can be a little bit smaller, okay? Making it smaller so it's less noticeable. Instead of a tube, we have a really thin wire that's virtually invisible. Okay, this is the most common type of hearing aid that you guys will see. This is going to be great for a majority of people's hearing loss. So this is the one that I tend to fit the most.
Okay, so now that we understand hearing loss and hearing aids a little bit better, the next step would be for you to identify what treatment options there are available for you. And again, the style of the hearing aid is super dependent on your personal preferences and specific needs, but so is the treatment options. So we'll talk about 2 different treatment options, but please bear in mind that it really is dependent on your specific needs. So the first way to source hearing aids or to source hearing aids is through a prescription. And these are generally fitted by an audiologist or a hearing professional and are custom tailored to your needs. They're ideal for those with more severe hearing losses, but are to be more expensive and time consuming. So let's walk through these steps. First, you'd find an audiologist or a hearing care professional. Then you would need to take a hearing test with your audiologist where your hearing levels will be measured and charted on that audiogram like Dr. Paul showed us a few moments ago. Then you would need to get your ear measured for your hearing aids to be ordered, and then waiting for the hearing aids to arrive takes about 2 to 4 weeks. Once your hearing aids arrive, your audiologist will fit them specific to your hearing in an in-person appointment. And then you would need to go for follow-ups so that you can ensure that your hearing aid is actually doing what it's meant to be doing. This could cost between $4,000 and $6,000 or even a little bit more depending on the options you go for. So it takes about a month or 2 from initiating your original appointment to actually getting your hearing aids fitted and being able to use them comfortably. So this is one option that you have available to you. The second is over-the-counter hearing aids. So these are for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss. And as you can see in the chart, you can purchase them for yourself either online or in store, and they can set up in real time in the comfort of your home. It involves fewer steps, less time, and are way less expensive. So again, super dependent on your personal preferences and needs. So it takes about a week before or from the time you initiate ordering your hearing aids to the time that you receive them. Dr. Paul, what are some of the benefits we can expect from over-the-counter hearing aids? You're muted.
Thanks, Nabila. Sorry about that. Lots of benefits with over-the-counter hearing aids. Just want to tell a little bit about the history of over-the-counter hearing aids. 85% of people experience some level of hearing loss, and 1 in 4 people with hearing loss have 1 in 4 people with hearing loss don't treat their hearing loss. Why? Because hearing aids were expensive, they were hard to access, you needed a prescription, they weren't as widely available. So in 2022, the FDA established a new category of over-the-counter hearing aids. So that is why they exist. They have a lot of the same benefits of prescription hearing aids. So consumers over the age of 18 with mild to moderate hearing loss can buy directly without visiting a health professional. They're affordable, 80% less than a prescription hearing aid. You can buy them online in stores, set them up from the comfort of your own home, so really accessible. Like I said, no prescription needed. You can purchase them at Best Buy, Walmart, Target, a lot of places to go shop for them, and they're still really customizable. So it's not just a one-size-fits-all. It's gonna come with different types of earpieces to fit comfortably in your ear. There are different wire lengths available, so it fits snug behind your ear, making it more discreet. And the best part is that they're FDA cleared. So they're safe, effective, they perform to high standards, and they have a lot of the same bells and whistles as prescription hearing aids. Nabila, can you tell me a little bit about the features that you can expect to see in some OTC hearing aids?
Absolutely. And what we really look for in features in an OTC hearing aid is that it makes the device versatile. So firstly, OTC hearing aids provide amplification you need to hear conversations better, especially in the environments or surroundings that are maybe a little bit noisier. So places like restaurants or social gathering or maybe an office. Then, many OTC hearing aids, including ours at Lexie, come with a companion mobile app, which allows you to adjust things like the volume, sound settings, and even customize your hearing profile based on your specific needs, all from your smartphone. Some OTC devices offer Bluetooth connectivity, meaning that you can stream media if we have any music lovers in our audience today, and also phone calls, which really helps with keeping you in touch with your loved ones, or maybe just makes your workday more convenient. Then comfort and fit. So while OTC hearing aids don't involve in-person fittings, they are designed for comfort and fit. So most come with multiple ear tips. We all have lovely, weirdly different shaped ear sizes and shapes, sorry. But these ear tips will really allow for a comfortable fit, and you can find the fit most comfortable for you. So these features really should be about making your day-to-day life way more convenient, improving your ability to hear in different settings, and ultimately improving your quality of life. And to ensure that these expectations are met once you receive or purchase an OTC device, Dr. Paul will now share with us what to look out for.
Thank you, Nabila. So you know you have hearing loss. You're ready to try something. You don't want to go to an audiologist. You want to just try something from the comfort of your home. You're going to go shopping. These are the things that you should look for on your OTC hearing aid. Okay. First, you want to make sure that OTC, which stands for over the counter, appears somewhere on the packaging. Okay. This means that it adheres to the new FDA standard for this category. Then you're going to want to look for a return policy. It can take several weeks to get used to hearing aids. OTC hearing aids, prescription hearing aids, it doesn't matter. It take some time to get adjusted to it. So you want to make sure that you're given enough time to try it out and get adjusted. Okay. Look for Bluetooth and app control, since this means you would be able to control the hearing aids using your phone. So instead of having to use the buttons behind the device or on the device, you can control it from your phone. You can adjust the volume, adjust the settings. Then you want to make sure what's included with it. Am I going to get batteries? Is it rechargeable? Are there different dome sizes? Do I get a cleaning kit? Because you're going to have to clean them every now and then. What tools are included and what kind of support is offered? And then do some research. Do research on the brand. Is this a reliable brand? Have people been satisfied with this product before? Check out the reviews and see what other people are saying about them. Nabila, can you tell us a little bit about the Lexie line of hearing aids?
Absolutely. So at Lexie, we've developed a range of OTC hearing aids designed to be affordable, accessible, and most importantly, effective. In fact, Lexie Hearing is the #1 OTC hearing aid brand in the United States, which we're very proud of. First up in our range is our Lexie Lumen, and just to reiterate, all of our Lexie hearing aids are all self-fitting over-the-counter hearing aids. This Lexie Lumen is super intuitive. It can be customized according to your hearing profile through an in-app clinically validated hearing test, which is very similar to the test that you'd complete with your audiologist. And this hearing aid is renowned for its ease of use and its connectivity. Next up is our Powered by Bose range. So if you remember from a few moments ago, we looked at the different styles of hearing aids, and this third one I think that we looked at was a receiver in canal. And this is what this range of hearing aids are. So these offer discreetness through that receiver in canal fit and super high quality audio through its Bose technology. Our Lexie B1 powered by Bose is a self-fitting OTC hearing aid with replaceable batteries, and it gives you affordable Bose tech. And then we have lastly our Lexie B2 Plus self-fitting over-the-counter hearing aid, which is also powered by Bose. This is a rechargeable hearing aid. It offers next generation customization with an in-app hearing test, and it also streams phone calls on both iOS and Android platforms. So super convenient for keeping you in contact and with your loved ones. It is also, the charging case itself is rechargeable, meaning that you can charge your hearing aids on the go and you're never without your hearing aids. With good reason, Lexie Hearing is the #1 OTC hearing aid brand in the US, and Dr. Pearl will now share what sets us apart.
Thanks, Nabila. So to wrap things up, we've covered hearing loss, the signs of hearing loss. We've covered the basics of over-the-counter hearing aids, what they are, how they work, the benefits that they offer. If you're experiencing signs of mild to moderate hearing loss, and I fit a lot of hearing aids, I fit every brand of hearing aid available. If you're looking for an over-the-counter solution, try Lexie. It's #1 for a reason, for a lot of reasons, not just the affordable pricing or the convenient process, but the support. Okay. So I know it seems scary to go out and get something on your own and self-fit it, but they really do make it super easy because it was designed with you guys in mind. It was designed working with audiologists so that when you take it out of the box, it's easy to set up on your own. And if it's hard, if you're having trouble, there's lifetime support available. Another thing I really love about the Lexie product that sets it apart is the Lexie app, so that the more that you use the app, right? Remember I said it takes time to get adjusted to your hearing aids. So the more that you use the hearing aids and you play with the app and you make the adjustments, you get rewarded for that. And you can use those rewards to go back and get little accessories or tools or cleaning kits, discounts on supplies for your devices. So if you want to learn more, please visit our lexiehearing.com website and make an appointment with one of our Lexie experts. A lot of you said you've never tried hearing aids before. This is a great place to start. We're going to send you an email with all of this information. I know it was a lot. A recording of the webinar in case you want to review it. And we're going to do a Q&A session here in a second, but I would like to just quickly share 2 of our success stories from some of our Lexie customers and how their lives have been changed. So again, thank you.
Just standing on the deck, you can hear trees rustle, the birds.
If I can hear a northern water thrush from a half a mile away on a Canadian lake that I haven't heard in 4 years, that's an old friend.
I'm hearing so much more of a surround that it's fun.
It's given me some of the most important aspects of my life back.
My name is Terry Borklin. I'm from Delaware, and I've been wearing hearing aids for about 4 years now.
And my name is Jeff Zoller. I'm from upstate New York, and I've been wearing hearing aids for about 3 years. I just really didn't think I was a candidate. I was kind of faking it and guessing what people were saying, and it wasn't working.
For me, it was just my mental health, the ability to feel like you're a part of a conversation and not just trying to read lips or not catch it all or answer a question that really wasn't asked of you. That was on my forefront to make sure that I was able to hear at a level that I could feel comfortable in a room, in a meeting, etc.
Yeah, we absolutely love hearing the feedback from our Lexie users because it shows that, hearing aids work. Actually, yeah. Okay, so Martin, do we have any questions?
Martin.
We have a few. I know we're almost close to our 30-minute mark, so I appreciate everyone's attendance, and we'll try to. There's just maybe 1 or 2 we might take here. Some of you may have heard of personal sound amplifiers. Can you talk about the difference between those and OTC hearing aids?
Sure. So OTC hearing aids are medical devices. They are regulated by the FDA. Personal sound amplifiers or PSAPs are not medical devices and not regulated by the FDA.
Got it. And then we'll do one more quickly as our clock runs down. And I know you may have talked with us a little earlier, Nabila, but how hard is it to set it up once you get it?
Not hard at all. So it's super easy and simple to set your hearing aids up. Once you receive them, we offer user manuals and quick setup guides in the box. But even better is once you're on the app, or even before you're on the app, you can reach our Lexie experts via video call, phone call, live chats, emails, whatever works best for you, and they will be there to support you every step of the way. So super simple.
Awesome. So again, I know we're at time. If the participants have any questions, I'll give you another minute or so to put them in that question box. The one thing I will tell you too is we will be sending you a link after this with all the information we've talked about. It'll be a link to our hearing test. It'll be a link to our FAQs. You'll also get your coupon code for a discount if you're interested in purchasing a hearing aid from us. And there'll also be a survey that will come separately. So I'd encourage you to take that. Just give us some feedback on what you liked, what you thought we could have done differently. And also if there are topics you'd like us to cover in future webinar series, we'd really appreciate that. So it doesn't look like there's any questions. We're a little over time. So again, I want to thank Dr. Pearl and Nabila and Nicholas, who's been quietly working in the background to make all of this work. And thank you all for participating. And please reach out to us via the website or any other place. So really appreciate your participation. And thank you, Ramona. I really appreciate the feedback. All right. Well, we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.